Well, hello there from beautiful Belgrade. Today with us, we have Mr. Matthew Bliss, who I'm sure a lot of you remember. He was with us in Belgrade in January 2020 at the Canadian Embassy. Trade Commissioner Filip Petrovic at the Trade Commissioner Center organized this very, I would say, useful workshop. And name of the workshop was basically promoting responsible approach to development of mining projects in Serbia. And Michael was able to, present to us what Intergovernmental Forum for Mining Minerals and Metals and Sustainable Development does. And we basically reached to him today. He is located in Ottawa, and we're glad to have him today with us. Michael, welcome. I'll let you just introduce yourself to the people that haven't met you yet, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions if you can share with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, my name is Matthew Bliss, and I'm with IGF. It's an intergovernmental forum of 76 countries interested in leveraging mining for sustainable development, inclusive growth, and poverty reduction. The IGF's been around for 15 years, and the IISD, or International Institute for Sustainable Development, has hosted the IGF as a secretariat over the past 5 years. That will likely continue for the next few years. And so I work with the IISD as well. We're glad to be here with you today, and it was wonderful to meet many of you last year in either Serbia, in Belgrade, or in Toronto at the PDAC, where I joined you for your reception. I'm a geologist by trade, so I trained as a geologist, got into kind of mining industry environment, mine closure. So that's where I come from. So if I sound a little technical today and talk about implementation, that's where I come from.
Thank you. Great, Matthew, because we're all technical here. Practically everybody in the group is very technical. Perfect. I've learned to all these, technical stuff as well. Something that we know is that IGF Mining Organization has been one of the organizers of International Mines Ministerial Summit during PDAC. And we're very proud that, our Canadian Embassy here in Belgrade Trade Sector managed and contacted this summit, and our Minister of Mining at the time received the invitation to attend. And he was basically one of the 24 ministers there, so which puts us on a map. So if you could maybe elaborate a little bit on that, and how important is that summit really, what it does,
It's fairly important. I mean, the PDAC itself is a global event, 20,000, 25,000 delegates from 140 countries. And so a lot of countries who are promoting investment in their geology and their mining bring their ministers with them. And so for the last 4 or 5 years, one of the major banks in Canada, as well as the government of Canada, decided to host this summit of mines ministers. Usually 20 to 30 show up, and it's by invitation only. So the Minister of Natural Resources for Canada has to invite you to get in the door. They're very strict about that. A lot of people have not been able to get into the door. And a collection of CEOs as well. Mining CEOs are also there. The Secretariat, the IGF Secretariat, has been invited the last 3 years to help support the group. Maybe prepare a discussion paper, maybe help select a topic, maybe ensure that there's a little bit of momentum after the ministers meet. The first few meetings didn't have that, and the Canadian Minister of Natural Resources felt that it'd be good to have kind of an independent professional secretariat. So we usually have 2 people in the room that help get the discussion going and prompt things if needed. The way it functions, as I understand, is a summary of the discussion and the topic, and then a bit of a roundtable, and then the talk at the end about kind of a bit of a wrap up. So far, there haven't been a lot of actions, but certainly some of the people in the room are interested in maybe there should be a call to action or something similar. A lot of folks try and get in. You can't unless you're invited. So yeah,
Well,
I think it's pretty important. But the PDAC as a conference, as a venue, brings that many people together that you can host this sort of summit.
Perfect. Well said, Matthew. I'm glad you explained it to us and the role of IGF mining. Definitely, I see, like you're saying, you're all looking how to improve, how to get the most benefit, and this is a joint effort. And thank you for sharing your experience. You know how large and how important PDAC is. That was my second question, but you basically answered it. And thank you very much. That's what our ministerial delegation first year realized, and this is why they decided to go the next year. This year we'll be following it virtually, first time, but I hope the next year we'll be able to meet up all there. And maybe my last question would be, how has IGF mining organization functioned during COVID-19? Like, I mean, it's been such a difficult time, and yet a lot of different things came up, a lot of opportunities, and we've all kept quite busy, which is good. So if you don't mind sharing that with us.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's an important question because we get a lot of, we're all sponsored by groups that are stretched for resources and stretched for funds. So for us to continue to work, we have to make sure that we do our work and we're effective. And so certainly considering how to do that at COVID is important. But I think before I jump into that, just one more, I guess, comment on the PDAC. It is important, I think, to meet people in person. I haven't gone to a lot of PDACs, but I've gone to a few over the last, decades. And when you can meet someone and talk about something important, and then call them up or email them or on LinkedIn, and you can say, okay, well, when we talked at PDAC, blah 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 blah. It could be a month later, but it could be 6 months later. It could be a year later. People remember that. And so I think it's, and when your minister goes in a high-level delegation, the ministers here treat you very well, and you get paraded around. So I think there's you probably felt that when you were here. But
oh yes,
I was glad. My minister of small business, she introduced me to your minister again, and we got to talk again. And so that helps promote what I'm trying to do, which is promote responsible mining in Serbia and all over the world. And so I think the PDAC is a great venue, and so please consider for next year when you can go in person. On COVID, really what we've had to do is make sure we focus our work on what our government members need. And so if they need us to help them with their policies, their guidelines, a review, we can do that. And we just ask them, is it okay to do virtually? Can we have Zooms? And usually it's yes. Is there any aspect of this work you want to maybe do it in person? And if so, we may have to delay it 6 months, a year, whatever. And then they say yes, and we carry on. But I think what else we've had to do is we've had to ask everybody, is it okay to publish this? Because the work we're doing for you in Argentina, or for you in Namibia, or for you in Armenia or Georgia, for example, we're doing something for Georgia. It's going to be important for everybody in your region and maybe everybody in the world. And so we're really focusing on publishing high quality reports. And so we ask the government and any consultants or writers that we have at the very beginning, are you guys okay with publishing this? Then let's prepare it and write it so that it's publishable and shareable by everybody. It's not that we didn't do that in the past, but now during COVID, we really make sure so that that knowledge is spread, even if we're not visiting each other as often. We're trying to do regional meetings virtually. We're trying to do the AGM. We did the AGM last year virtually, and that went well. We've also conducted a series of seminars and webinars, one on COVID. So we actually have a COVID-19 series of webinars and seminars that affect taxes, work, local content, local work, and there's another one, revenue streams and what you do with kind of revenues and royalties, that sort of thing. So we do have artisanal and small scale miners. How are they affected by COVID-19? So I think, our mode of delivery has changed a little bit, but we did realize how much of the work we can do virtually without having to go, in country. We're about to do one of our first mining policy framework assessments virtually, desktop. Normally we do desktop, and then we go and verify the data in the field. Then we present it to the government. They validate it verbally, and then we write the report and they validate the report. Let's see if we can do one without doing some of those steps. It's for a smaller jurisdiction, so we think that it's possible. We certainly wouldn't want to do that for a significant or larger mining jurisdiction. I hope that answers your question.
Yes,
but those
yes, it
those are
does.
some of the main changes.
Yes, thank you very much for being practical and really, showing on examples how things work. I really appreciate what you've said. It gave me an insight that PDAC was a place where we ended up meeting again with our contacts. For example, with you, we had a few other experts that, with the help of Canadian Embassy and a trade sector here, were able in the past years to come and join. And then we would go to PDAC, and that's where we again reconnect. And it's just really wonderful. I think the COVID really put us at the test, how much we can do. And I think, but what it showed to me that people really matter, and that, like you said, that contact, it's really important. And, thankfully to contact we've had with you, we were able to reconnect again. And I think we'll be treasuring it even more and valuing. And I'm thanking you, Matthew, for this wonderful short interview. For all of you who are watching us, Matthew Bliss, Deputy Director at IGF Mining Organization, our very important contact, and we're very proud that we've connected with you. I wish you a really good day, and that we meet next year or maybe sooner.
Thank you. See you sooner. Bye.
Thank you so much, Matthew. All the best.
Okay, bye.